0FXB Flex Maestro C and the Flex 8400. Let's talk about microphones. Now, a shortcut to go to those settings is to press and hold the microphone button just here. So if you turn the outside, you're doing the, you see there, you got the power, but if you turn the center knob, you're doing the microphone, the mic gain. So let's press and hold, and look what we have here. So I would say the first one to look at is the mic that's connected. So if you tap there, and I've got the FHM3. Let me show you where that plugs in. So the Maestro comes with a split cable, and on one end of it, let me just unplug these completely. The splitter, cool, it's really stiff in there. The splitter plugs into the host. Push that in firmly. And the other end of the splitter, one has a microphone symbol and the other one has a speaker symbol. Okay, so headphones really. So I've plugged one end of the microphone, and the one I've got is the twin pin one. The Maestro A and the Maestro B had the proper sort of Yaesu plug, didn't it? But this one hasn't. So, and then you get this sort of adapter that I'm holding in my hand here. If I pull that off, and that goes in it says PTT here, the other one's in HDS. Plug that in, and then you've got the phono cable, and you use this one on the back of the 8400. And that's it, so you're all connected there. And you'll see that the microphone, look, it's basically a Yaesu mic, but it says FHM3, and it's very sensitive indeed. So we select our mic. The obvious one is to turn on the processor, and you've got normal, DX, DX plus, and the level there, and your monitor so you can listen to your audio. So on the Maestro, you've got I'm just reading from the manual to make sure we get it exactly right. It stands for the MHDST, stands for Maestro headset. It's the headset microphone input on the Maestro control console, not the radio. And that's what we're on, but we can change to, let's see if it will, no, it's not. So it knows what's connected. You can see that. Oh, no, it did change. How wrong was I? So the R mic says here, radio microphone input. The R mic tells the system to use the microphone corrected directly to the radio transceiver, not the one plugged into the Maestro. Well, that's interesting. So I didn't know it did that. And of course, you can plug in the same microphone into the 8400. And again, reading from the manual, it says the accessory port referring to the multi-pin accessory connector on the back of the radio. So that's for accessory port, but we're using the first one. So we've got the APD here, which is available, not turned on. It says when APD is on, the Maestro, depending on firmware versions, will power down automatically after being idle for a certain amount of time. When APD is off, the device will stay powered on indefinitely. Now, I think these are settings you can put in the profile. You can have different profiles for your microphone settings. And this one says TX filters, low and high, and then you've got tune. Is that the tune power when you're tuning? Carrier. So the manual says instead it controls the carrier level, AM, FM or SSB suppressed carrier balance used for AM or other non-SSB modes. Okay, the carrier slider does not affect your mic audio. In SSB, the carrier is suppressed. That's why it's called single sideband. Control is manually grayed out. Okay, well, that's interesting. Vox, so when you turn on how sensitive, you turn on Vox, you can speak without a microphone, and this is your sensitivity here. And obviously, I'm learning. Please correct me if I've got anything wrong here. So if we just come out of that a minute, and then we'll go to the, tap the menu and go to, there's the profiles I saw. And if we got one here for mic, see, and well, I would say the default is that one for me, isn't it? So I'll leave that one on there. But it looks like you can create a profile, give it a name. That's what it looks like to me. I've not used it. Phone CW, bias. You'll have to learn whether your microphone needs bias. Go into transmit here. Let's tap it. Equalizer settings there. Again, something I never really use. That's a good one. Show TX in waterfall enabled. Got audio here. and more settings there. So yeah, that's the nice one is the shortcut here. The important one, I would say, is to remember to select your microphone, otherwise no one's going to hear you. So now if we just give it just a quick Mike 0 Fox X-ray Bravo test M0 FXB test, you can see that my carrier going through there. So hope this helps you. I'm learning with you. Flexradio Maestro C and the Flexradio 8400 microphone shortcuts and settings, and I'm sure there are way more settings. Of course, TX, you need to, if you're going to TX on this frequency, make sure you push the TX here, or this frequency here. You can change band, you can select antennas, you can change antennas that you're going to be using for receive and transmit. So it's pretty advanced stuff here. And so just tap the screen, and there is a shortcut. If you press and hold this, there's a shortcut there, as opposed to just tapping the frequency, which is the same menu. And I haven't tried to hold any of these down to see if there's any menus. Look at that. Let's just press and hold everything. We've got some mutes there. We've done that one. Let's try this one. Oh, that's the main menu as well. A and B lock. Then your step. That's a nice one. Changing the step for when you're tuning on A and B, completely separate. And if you hit the down arrow or the up arrow, you know, you start to someone weak stations there, or someone there on the A volume. Make sure you're in lower sideband. And then we can change bands. 20 meters there on the B. Turn up the volume. Oh, got the state of that. LED lights. Bye for now.